My name is Satyabrata Acharya from India, of course, and representing a country, Oman. I don't know how many of you have probably heard of. Of course, it's from Middle East, and the country is definitely, and the region definitely not known for technological contribution. Uh, However, uh, when it comes to uses of the various different type of technology, there is a lot of users, and because of many, uh, the rich country and people, they have money to spend, so they always uh, leave in the user side. They always make use of the technology, but when it comes to contributing or developing something, very rare cases probably we must have seen. Uh, it's a great pleasure to be here with such a fantastic people and minds. Of course, I don't have much of what we have here to talk is not something really like just now what I have just noticed with Stephen. It's something really fantastic. Uh, who's this? Excuse me. Okay. Yeah, you can see there's a, as far as the country is concerned, Oman, you can see it's a beautiful picture in the background. That's the country I'm representing here. While you see the landscape and picturesque place, uh, we are also talking about interesting aspect about the usage of the mobile phone in the whole global scenario, where the mobile penetration has, or the smartphone penetration is slowly is increasing more than the actual population. You know, that's the scenario in particularly in the GCC country. It's a bit different because the average consumption of the phone or the internet is way ahead of the average standard of the world. Excuse me. World consumption or the world smartphone penetration. Uh, this is a number which I can just share with you in terms of the few of those advanced country within the region which has maximum penetration of the mobile and the smartphone. Oman stands there at the 63% penetration. One of the highest standard is the Qatar and UAE. And the commonality between these countries, their common language is Arabic. While we are talking about these things, some other interesting aspect about is most of the people over there, they just use the smartphone like today, if tomorrow is there is a new model, they just throw the other model and they go for the new one. That's the kind of people, of course. Almost 92% owns a smartphone, which is the latest model. 82% of the people probably they are already aware about various different application. They are pretty much comfortable with using WhatsApp, various different applications they normally use. As per the mobile broadband penetration is concerned, that is also pretty high in standard, 72%, almost more than 72%. And the household internet penetration is 44%. Why I'm sharing these numbers? All these numbers triggers one thing is there is a great and there is a huge usage of mobile and the smartphone. All these things is happening in that particular region. So that triggers a specific type of revolution. How the mobile can be used in a more effective manner. I mean, we calling it as a smartphone, but then is the smartphone is being used in a smartly in those region? That's what triggers these questions, and we come up with this application, which is augmented reality browser. And this browser, the only difference between the other browsers which are available in the market is it has the Arabic language, so that people over there who are more comfortable with that, they're more religious, they're more down to their culture, so they prefer to interact with their own language. So that's what make this application bit unique. And what it is doing, as I said, is the world's first augmented reality application. Is in a browser in Arabic. It is available for Android and iOS at the moment. The other aspect, what we are as in a company, from the business point of view, what we are trying to do is we're trying to do making the AR, augmented reality, as a technology. We believe this has a tremendous potential, so we want to make it more reachable and more affordable from the business point of view. And right now, what we are offering with the features are some of those standard features, like you can scan object, image, shape, face, you can scan QR code, you can have a geolocation. Of course, if you have some kind of, you can share that things with your social media sphere. So these are all the standard feature. What this creates, exactly the intention behind why we tap into this particular segment, is to create another channel through which you can actually interact or communicate or transform some information which is more contextual, and would also it is more convenience. For an example, in a typical scenario, if I am looking at an advertisement, what is it? Sorry. So if you're looking at any advertisement, and before coming to this, there is another point which I would like to raise, is the media is limited over there. Let me tell you. There are a few very limited television channels. There are a few, the most of the show times and all those things are available there, but those are not local, those are international. So when it comes to the media, even the print also very limited. And so from that triggers another things. When everybody is having a mobile phone in their hand, the smartphone in their hand, why not tap into that segment? I mean, why not start looking at that a mode of channel through which you can actually pass on information which is more contextual. So that's what overall triggered this whole idea that let's introduce this technology to this segment. Right now, there are two particular business area where we are actually working on. One is print and publication, which is slowly dying. People we are already working with 7 publications over there, and the unanimous feedback is they're in big threat because of the digital media. So all the big players over there, they started cutting their budget and started investing on the digital channels. So that is a segment which is in a bit of dying. The other segment which I am talking about here is the tourism, which is emerging, I would say. And because the government is spending a huge amount of money, resources, establishment, infrastructure development to promote the tourism. Because if you have noticed few nice picturesque images in the beginning, Oman potentially offers fantastic landscape. At the same time, neighborhoods also, the other countries also, they have their own beautiful places. So in a sense, that's what we are tapping into, and these are the two segments. One is emerging, one is dying. So we are trying to fit into ourselves there so that we can bring them both into, give them solution which can really work for them to evolve from where they are. Somebody, if you wanted, they go in a different stage, somebody who's trying to bring them up. So that is what essentially we are doing with our application. I would like to show a small demo how the application work. Let me see if I can. I've been facing a little bit of trouble in terms of connecting my. Let me see if I can get that things done. Yes, it works. Okay. So that's how the application looks like. That's how it looks. So you can see clearly there are two language options right when you start the application. So if I choose my, let's say, English option, it has three fundamental features of an app where you can actually scan any augmented reality based images or the content, or you can also scan a standard QR code. And also it can offer something which is called around you, which is of course in a geolocation feature, which gives you places of interest. If you are in a place and you want to find out some of your interest, though, so you can find out. So let me see if this works. Yeah. So that's in a feature I'm sure a lot of people there you must have already experienced in different ways. It's just our ways how we are interacting with the application. And so if I, let's say if I want to go to Starbucks, right now we are using Foursquare and Google Map API, so that it provides all the location related information. Coming back to real things, which is, let's say, scanning and augmented reality things. So let's say we are working with one of the publication over there is a newspaper, and this is things which I am scanning right now, and you can see a contextual video related to that image or that things which has been used, highlights. Let's say if I have in a sports article and I want to see what the action has really happened, here I have just a simple image, and I can point and find out a little snippet of this. So in this, this is how it basically works. I'm sure all of you are already aware about it. I have another segment we are trying to, like the other segment which I just mentioned about the tourism. Here we are just, it's an example of a mall image. Let me see if this works. For some reason this one is not working. And we are also trying to provide some branded content for the automobile industries or some of these people, so that they can use some gamification to their advertisement or their any of the campaign, so that you can start playing with some games. These are the few things which I would like to just highlight in terms of what we are doing. I think that's it. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, please.
Yep, we have time for some questions.
Sure. Where?
Questions?
I'm sorry?
He's asking if you think the government will limit that type of media.
No, because as far the mobile is concerned, it's something that they have understood that there is no control at this point of time. There is no, yes, the TRA is the telecom regulatory, they are working as a governing body, but we have understood that they don't have any such kind of limitations, or they don't have any reservation of how to use or how not to use. So far we haven't faced any kind of such situation.
Any other questions?
That's it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.